All right. So you guys, this one is gonna kind of hit home for me because I've worked with this guy such a long time. He's got probably, I don't know, 12 to 15 years of experience. He's really good at building systems and teams. Uh, there's really not anybody better out there that has built that many teams and has been successful wherever he goes, no matter what system, no matter what organization he works with, and when it comes to insurance, and that's Harold Durana. Well, let's go back towards the beginning, your first team where you started a system. What did that system look like? Again, back then we were doing in-home instead of telesales. So talk about the system that you sort of polished. What was it like? How did it work? How did it run?
So when I first started, it was every man for themselves. It was just like, all right, let's figure it out. Everybody shows up to an office, everybody made phone calls, and then everybody went in the field. But it was still like basically an every man for themselves type of system. What happened was, again, when you become a, general manager per se at last company, again, you run your own team. And the process mentally was very easy. So it was, how am I going to streamline this? Make it easy, make it so that it's like a car wash. An agent goes through the car wash, and at the end of the car wash, ready to go, ready to hit the field. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to go back to student mentality. One of the hardest things to do. Okay, going back to being a student. And when you go back to being a student, it's not like student knowing what you know, right? It's student fresh blank slate. Okay. So I went back to being a student and I looked at everything that we do, right? You take everything that we do and you go, all right, as a student, when I first get started, what do I want to see? What do I want to know? What am I going to need to know? Right? So that's how you develop your onboarding, right? It's like, what do I need to do? Okay. Who do I want to be able to talk to? Who are the people that make my process easier in the beginning? All right. So now you're talking to them. Then you move into the training system. Now, as a brand new agent, it is impossible to learn everything all at one time. You just can't. Okay? It has to be gradual. And as a manager, you always have to know what your agents know and what your agents don't know. Right? And at a certain point, if you put too much, in the beginning, it gets overwhelming and it gets discouraging, right? And that's why we always tell people in the beginning, keep it simple, and it just simplify everything. Here's what you need to know. Boom, 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 boom. Learning that, right? Knowing what you know and knowing what you need to teach the agents, that's where you apply that. You're like, if I'm a new agent, what do I need to know? Basic products, how to apply it. What are the different things that we do? All right, cool. Next, the tools that we use. How do you use those tools in a basic format? Not advanced, basic, okay? Then after they've understood those things, then it's like, all right, now it's time for presentation. Now when they're learning the presentation, all the things that they, have just learned, it's all making sense.
It's funny that you say that because all of us, I think by nature, we're trying to look for that shortcut. The shortcut's never going to get you to home, right? The shortcut's going to delay or actually take you off course of getting there quicker. Back again to the first system that you kind of polished or helped created. Talk about how you changed that. Like, what things did you put in place? Just give an example or two that you changed or put in place for your team specifically that made it better for them.
It is hard, honestly, trying to figure out a process and system because it wasn't made, right? It wasn't made. It was just kind of like just figure it out. Everything will be all right. And it sucked, Then you start, all right, let me implement things. Again, onboarding. What does the onboarding process look like, right? Just that part right there alone made a huge difference because how many people have recruited somebody and then they lose them through the cracks? They disappeared. Why? Because there's no touches, right? Nobody's texting them, calling them, emailing them, or whatever it may be. So just that piece alone is making it so like you don't lose agents, right? So we put something in place for that so we didn't lose agents. Training, it was just kind of like, here's a presentation, go figure it out. That's how it was before. Then it's like, well, how am I supposed to know all these things? Then you put together a training course. So all these presentations that you guys are learning, especially the ones that are completely written, not bullet points, that thing has gone through trial and error. Like our presentation that we run has gone through a ridiculous amount of trial and error. And then eventually it was like, all right, dude, it's ready. All right, it's ready. And it got to that point. But again, 6-8 months of just doing that over and over. Made a script, ran it in the field, failed, changed it, fixed it, made it better, changed the wording, did this and did that. It's gone through that many, you know what I mean? That many different times. And then last year, obviously, we did really good as a team. We killed it. We crushed it. 6.1. That's awesome.
For those that are not with us and that are out there, what's 3 steps that if you're a starting agent, you're brand new, and maybe you're with a team that doesn't have a structure in place, what's 3 steps that they can take to start implementing something in place now for them to grow their team?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, if they're an agent, already have gone through contracting and all that stuff, first thing you need to do is make sure you have a proper presentation in place, because that's what you're going to have. That's your roadmap. You need a roadmap. And then from there, looking at the roadmap, you can kind of go backwards, right? You can go, okay, products. What products am I going to be using based on this roadmap? If I'm doing mortgage protection, what am I going to be using? Okay, a bunch of whole life and term, okay? And then again, the tools. So using insurance toolkits, okay, to make your life way easier, to be able to put the information based on, you know, the client's health, age, health, and putting all the medications in. So it tells you which carriers are going to be able to qualify the client. So from there, you've got all your different steps, and then now your presentation, it all comes together, right? So, and then it's just duplication. Do it over and over and over and over again, right? You know, that's why every presentation needs to be the same.
So a lot of people out there maybe be struggling with the team they're at, or they don't have an upline that creates the support. One thing I think that's really great about our group here is the culture. I want to shout out to Juan Franco real quick, because he told me on a back channel line after his call with us, he thought the culture that we have here with our group was amazing. And this is a guy who goes to a bunch of different teams and speaks just like you do, right? And he saw that in us. He's like, wow, whatever you guys got going on over there, it's fire. You guys have this ability to get people on Zoom, which a lot of teams don't have that ability. They'll have big teams, 180, 200 people, but they're not showing up to Zoom. They're not engaging. They're not really a part of a system or a culture. So one of the great things I think we've done here as a group, especially of us coming over from the practice company, is we really adopted that same culture, brought it here, and it's kind of just exploded. Can you kind of talk about culture and why that's so important when you're building your systems?
Yeah, absolutely. So at our last company, we did have Zoom, but it was very much team-based, okay? And that wasn't conducive to success, right? Didn't work. And then there was a lot of separation of teams. Everybody's like, oh, I want to do my own thing. Leave me alone. Don't talk to my team. Leave my agents alone. Don't try to teach them your ways and all that crap. Terrible. That's how you discourage agents, how you lose agents, and that's how you literally tear down your culture. Right now here, it's like everybody, it's crazy. You see in our Zoom, like everybody's like, oh, that's my friend, my best friend, my sister's friend, my brother, my sister, my cousin, my uncle, my aunt.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Why? Because we built the culture of everybody helping each other. There is no such thing as teams here. We're not playing that game. My team, your team. You know, help this person, don't help that person. That's not how it works, dude. And that was what we wanted to build, right? A community of agents who can help each other without repercussion of, you know, oh, my friend this, my friend, you know, that's terrible, dude. Well, this is my agent. Oh, this is my friend. Help my friend out. Can you help my new agent out too? These guys are like my family. Help. And you're just like, somebody like that last company, everybody's like, oh no, dude, I can't help you. Sorry. Yeah. Now it's like, who cares, dude? Everybody's helping each other.
Well, think about this, right? There's a few companies out there that actually tell you and kind of force you to go recruit your family and friends. And then also their leads for the person that's telling you to recruit, right? And they give you a very low comp. And here you actually want to recruit people and give an opportunity because you feel good about it. So it's complete different. One, you're being kind of forced to do it. And here, if you don't want to build, you don't have to build. If you want to build, we're going to show you how to do it. So I think that's what's great about, again, going back to culture here with our group. So I want to kind of circle back because I think we're missing a big step that I think people don't understand the difference of going from a system of in-home. So can you talk about that transition of systems from in-home to Zoom to what we do now, which is strictly telesales?
Yes, I've done all of the above too.
Yeah.
So I did do field for a long time, knocking on doors. Yeah, that was fun. Driving really hard. Yeah, that was. Woo. Then we started doing Zoom. trying to figure it out, working through the weeds and trying to, how do we do this? How do we maneuver? And it's basically when you're on Zoom, you are doing a face-to-face with the clients, no different than in person. Right. It was a face-to-face, a little bit of transition, right? Because screen sharing and showing him that you're filling out the app and whatnot, of course, was part of the play.
Yeah.
First week I was here, I did Zoom. And then when Isaiah was like, yeah, you could have done it over the phone. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean over the phone? How does that work? He's like, yeah, you just email him the signature. I was like, oh, man. So I was like, all right, let's try this. So that became my new reality.
Kind of touch on why it's so important for when you're deciding, hey, I'm gonna choose a team. Why a culture like this with everybody on Zoom? How does that help a brand new agent?
When you're looking at, and I do advise this to people who are shopping agencies, right? I'm like, all right, well, let's look at it this way. When you're looking at an agency, okay, first things first, obviously comp. We're not here for free. Obviously, everybody knows this. We don't work for free. As much as everybody says, oh, the comp did that. Nah, dude, we work here to make an income so we can support our families, right? So when you're looking at an agency and I think Vito had touched on it right there. She put 45%. You got to recruit 3 people just to get 45%. That's a reality out there, guys.
Yeah.
That's real. Starting off at 25%, starting off at 30%, that's real. And that's like some of these agencies, that's full time. That is
what's crazy. A lot of the guys that head these companies are really big on social media, and people think this is the way to go, right? And they don't know any better.
The way that it's marketed, I mean, obviously it's amazing, right? It looks amazing and it's great and awesome, yeah. So that's the thing, right? You're looking at a different agency. You're looking at agencies in general. That comp matters, right? Right? Because the difference between 30%, 60%, and 100% plus, and 100% plus more, I mean, it's literally basic math. The next thing is carriers. So when you're at a captive company, one size fits all is the motto, right? They're just like, well, this is it. This is all we have. You got it. It'll work. Instead of, it's like basically, what's your situation? Here's the product. Oh, wait, what's your situation? It's like,
let's see how we can make it fit.
Well, let's make it work. Versus for us, we have the capability to analyze the situation and then find the best product for the client. We don't have to press something that doesn't even make sense. We don't have to do that. We can go and be like, okay, well, this is what makes sense for your situation. Training. Now, the next thing is training. What is the training system? How does it work? What do you guys do for training? What type of processes and systems do you guys have in place for training? I mean, the thing is for us, and for anybody here who can attest, is that obviously we have our just generalized little boot camp, which is learning the toolkit, the scripts, the products, and whatnot. But the real training is done in our Zoom, right? You sit in the Zoom with over 100 different people. If you're running mortgage protection, you literally hear the same people over and over and over again saying the same exact presentation that you're going to say.
Yep.
As a new agent, you literally hear a top producer writing 10, 15, 20,000. You hear a brand new agent in their first week, an agent who's been here for 6 months, a year, all saying the same thing, all different personalities. It makes it a reality for you as a new agent because you're like, okay, cool, I can do this. Because if these 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different people are saying the same things, they're all different people, and they're all writing business, I could do it too.
This one pretty important, right? If there was some kind of wisdom that you can impart on both people here and people that are not here about insurance, right? And why the opportunity of insurance is such a great opportunity for people, right? What would that wisdom be?
Sure. I've preached this for a very long time, and I learned the hard way, I guess you can say. And I learned very, 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 very early on in my career. And what it is that upfront money is great, but residual is better, right? I didn't understand what that meant. And this was told to me by people who have been in the industry for years, right? I was just fresh, brand new. And these people were 10 years in, already 10 plus years in. And they're like, look, residual is what you're looking for. But I'm like, what does that even mean? I didn't understand that until I completed my first year. And you're getting paid on business that you wrote before, right? Then you realize you're like, wait, I'm gonna continue to get paid on these clients that I wrote last year, the year before that, the year before that, the year before that. So upfront money is great, but residual, way better. It just keeps going, right? And ultimately, it's also a testament to you've done the right thing for the client. put them in the right policy so that they can keep it and it makes sense for them. I didn't put something in place for them that they couldn't afford or anything like that, right? They'll continue, right? That also is a testament to somebody's business, right? If your residual account is healthy, you know they write good business. They take care of their clients. Like your residual account is not that great, questionable with what you're writing.
Right.
So it's very important to know, again, yes, upfront money is good when you first get started because obviously we're doing this, we need to make a living and whatnot. But eventually, once you hit that residual income, you're just like, oh man, this is crazy. You keep getting paid, keep getting paid, keep getting paid. That's why, like on my on one of the, I think it might be this hoodie, but it says daily deposit club because that's what we do. We get deposits every single day.
It's on the back.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on this one. I don't remember if I did it on this one. No, this
Yeah, it looks like it.
This one's hard work, dedication.
Hard
But
work. Okay.
but daily deposit club is important because that's what it's about. We keep getting paid on business that we've written, and that is the most powerful thing because it's generational wealth, and you keep getting paid on it. And again, it's just a testament to you doing quality business.
Can anybody guarantee that you're going to make a certain amount of money, whether it's 3 months, 6 months? Can they guarantee that? And why not? Explain why they can't. If
No,
they can't.
you can't necessarily guarantee anybody anything because at the end of the day, it's that individual person who still has to put forth the work. Yeah, there's no way because again, at the end of the day, for all of us, we control our work, how hard we work, the effort that we put in. You know, we control that stuff. You can't really guarantee somebody anything.
A big one too is how coachable you are.
Yeah, coachable. It's very important too. And then on top of that too is that resilience. You have to have resilience in this industry because you're going to have bad days. You're going to have bad weeks. You might have a not so great month, right? But you control that, right? You can have a bad day, but then the next day write 10,000.
Hey guys, let's all thank Harold for jumping on. Unmute, say thank you. Appreciate you, man.